Welcome. And we return. So, last time we faded out on a very wholesome scene of our friends sitting around the table, eating their dinner, probably like waffles for dinner as well. That's just like weirdly the Magaambya is like really about that. But anyways, we Tal was using food to explain deep feeling and emotion and concepts, right? And questions were asked and discussions were had. As that sorry, Maria killed me. We fade out on a wholesome scene at dinner. We fade in on a tragic scene at breakfast.
No waffles.
Not the they don't have any waffles today.
The waffles.
No, we ate
Food on the floor everywhere.
They have waffles, but no peanut butter.
The true tragedy is if they had like one waffle left, but they were trying to bring it to the table and they dropped it on the floor.
Oh no!
And it's like sticky side. It's like syruped and it's sticky side down.
Oh, sticky side down. That's how you know you got the right side.
Our tragic backstory.
And that's how Ark was born. Anyways, we're doing great. So as you guys finish up dinner, you guys head back and Star, or rather Arafe, you have some babysitting to do, and just she'll hand the kids off to you, just kind of letting you know their basic schedule and things like that. And overall, I mean, they're typical kids, like young kids. And especially you're new, so you're interesting and fascinating. And you mentioned wanting to bring them to the frog pond. Is that something?
Yeah, so Arafe will just bring them out to the little pond that's outside of the window of her room. And yeah, we will just like catch little bugs and frogs and the small fish that are in there. Like I said, my curse is still in effect. So
yes.
Even with that, like I'd show them like make the little plants grow from the ground near my hands, like, and just
fascinated,
try and keep them entertained. And we're gonna run. We're just gonna run everywhere.
Oh, just get them really tired.
Yeah, we're gonna go sleep really well tonight. So we're gonna go play tag and hide and seek and.
Perfect. So as you the frog pond, just because I do have a lovely little description here. There's a lot of like various puddles and ponds that spring up all over campus during the Natanbu's rainy season. That's just expected. But this is like a distinctly deep pond that remains all year round. And there's little frogs in the pond that are jumping around. It's called the frog pond to those that are around, and not for the record, not cloth and paper folded into frogs, but actual frogs. And the kids are fascinated by this curse effect that remains on around you, and they'll kind of ask. So they're kind of like that kind of. It looks like our webs, but like it's coming from the ground. What is that?
Oh, this is the connection to the gods.
Whoa.
They let me help. Absolutely, you can. It's perfectly safe.
They just try to like grab a strand.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, one of them is more in his humanoid form, and that's Zombie. And Zahva is a little bit more timid, and while she will maybe occasionally come out of spider form to like interact with some things the way you might like touching the it touches the curse strands and roots in spider form, and then also kind of transforms and tries to touch them like as a human, but she feels a little bit more comfortable in spider form.
I have a very special ability to help people. And this is how my body does it. It lets me use my own life to help other people.
Wow. Mom's here to help people too. I want to help people. How do I do that?
Oh, this is just something that I can do, but everyone is different. So everyone can help people in different ways.
So you just have to
probably not, but that's not a bad thing.
I want to do that.
You know, if you study really hard, you can do something similar to this. But you have to go to school.
Squids.
I know. Nothing comes easy.
That's what Mom says.
Your mom is very smart.
Yeah, she is. that brings him back. And yeah, you guys play with the frogs. You guys kind of run around the pond itself in the rain. And they are thoroughly entertained. They are, they do occasionally ask a little bit more questions about like the strands and like, oh, can you do this with that? And can you do that with that? And like, just
what
they've just never seen anything. Yeah, they've never seen anything like it. And they try to like mimic it with like shooting some web out and being like, look, I'm attached to the ground too.
Yeah.
And things like that. But I would say go ahead and let's just do a very overall like diplomacy roll to see if, how the night goes as a whole.
Okay. Grab that open. Diplomacy.
Can't wait for this nat one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What is it?
The 12.
They're just screaming. They've killed 2 frogs. Everyone's traumatized.
There's like guts on their hands as they run back inside screaming and like, what's that? And it's just frogs. No.
I'm sorry.
None of that happens. Anyways, no frogs were harmed in the making of this. But yeah, overall, I mean, you're a new babysitter. They've not interacted with you before, so they're always pulling and trying to see your boundaries. But they are very thoroughly tuckered. That has been a success. And with that, unless anybody has anything else that night that they're interested in doing. Oh, yes, Hideaki.
Oh. You're muted, I think.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum,
All right.
bum, bum, bum. Oh, I heard that one.
What?
I think you're coming in and out.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
But now's the perfect time for background music.
I know, right?
Thank you, Bear.
We had to
heard
pop
that.
in. There's a little bit of
Hold
nighttime
on.
insects and chirping happening here.
Switch to my other headset here.
Okay.
So we
now.
can hear you now.
Easy. Nope.
Now,
we can't.
now nothing. Now there's
Nope.
nothing.
Rip.
Ah,
That's so
tech. We
strange.
love tech. We
love tech.
We heckin'
It's
love
All
tech.
the good tech.
Well,
We are
meanwhile-
experiencing some technical issues. Please stand by.
What about now?
Oh, but
Oh,
not
yes.
now.
Yes.
Okay, so you're good now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Probably not as great because it's using the onboard mic right now. But for now, that will do.
We can hear you. That's what's important.
That's what's important. Apologies, podcast listeners later.
It is
Yeah, I'm headed to Ignacio's room.
Oh, yes. Oh, crap.
book buddies, book club. Let's go.
When the GM forgets.
I meant to mention it in the recap, but then I ADD'd, and then we were.
No, that's valid. We're all for spur of the moment, make shit up off the top of our heads, right? That's what this is about.
Hey,
that's true.
Isn't that
pure
what we do?
TTRPG.
Pure unadulterated improv role playing action. Outcast and Outclassed.
Starting now.
Stall.
No, yeah, we're good. So yes, you head on over to Ignacio's room, and because we did miss that in the recap, a conversation that was had. And what was it that you just asked?
I just
To talk
asked
to?
to, just asked to chat with him. Yeah, that's
All
all.
right, perfect. Yeah. So as you knock on his
He
door,
said that he was
he opens it, and as as we discussed, this change of accent is not because I forgot, but because we decided that this is his new accent. But he goes and says, "Oh, yes, hello."
Hey there. So first of all, how's your evening going?
It was going great.
It was? Did I interrupt something?
No, I can't determine what it would be like, but
Oh,
it has been up until this very point. Great.
all right. So the jury is out, is what you're trying to say. Great. No pressure. All right. Awesome. So I'm only going to take a few minutes of your time. So remember earlier we had a fun little conversation, and then you just were like, and you left. You kind of hanging. Remember that?
Oh, I do apologize if I left you hanging. That was never my intention. I do recall our previous chats. I do recall you prying as to the contents of some private property, and I do recall returning to my room.
Right. So I mean, prying is. I mean, that's one way to take it. Look. So that all notwithstanding, I was wondering. By the way, how long have you been here?
Oh, I'm still an initiate, so a few weeks. Well, we've had our. I actually don't know as a GM because they all are initiates, but I would say a week or two more than you all. Yeah.
Like he's probably.
So I was wondering. I was. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Yeah. It's kind of weird because you. Doesn't matter.
Sure. Okay. Cool. So I was wondering if you would be interested in having a study buddy.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. In the general concept, we do all help each other out here at the Magaambya.
But I would be your exclusive study buddy. Now, of course, I have my team and stuff like that, and we're all going to work together really, really well. But I was really impressed with the way that you carry yourself from the get-go. And even though you may have considered what I was doing prying, it was one of just seeing one's appreciation for the studies and intelligence.
I see.
Respect, even, I would argue.
Well, I do appreciate the kind words, and I do not really mean any harm. I hope you know in that sense that in we do all help each other, and I would be happy to help you. But I have to ask, why this is a very particular and exclusive offer you're offering here. Why me?
Call it a hunch.
Okay.
Have you ever been in a position where you just get like a vibe off of somebody and you want to know more?
Yes, quite often, actually. I am interested in being a part of the Emerald Bows, if you are familiar with their what we're about, anyways, or what I hope to be about. Why don't we try and see what kind of... Are you the studious type?
Oh, absolutely. You should see my room. Books as far as you can see. I can see. Yeah, if you want to.
He'll slide out of, like, he'll kind of gesture for you to like step back, and he'll slide out of his room.
Yeah, I'll like gesture.
Yep. Hold on. And by the way, because you did open the door to his room, I do want to give you a little insight there.
Sure.
Because this is a fantastic book. Let's see. Ignacy's room. So as you kind of look through his door, like he wasn't like opening it wide open. So like what you do glance through is a lot of glass alchemy equipment. Kind of primarily occupying it. You could definitely see like extra chests and desks and bookshelves that are like kind of like his room is particularly crowded with more stuff. I think he mentioned that he does sell some extra alchemical supplies at the beginning, so that kind of is probably to do with that. But that's kind of all you see before he slides out and closes the door behind him and locks it and
Sure.
lead the way.
Is the book in his hands or is it in the room?
Actually it is in his, like, it is tucked like under his arm, like he kind of like something he always keeps on him.
Cool. All right, cool. Yep, just this way.
And he'll follow you and just kind of watch you over. So why your room? Is it show off your studious nature?
Well, I mean, it seems like a good place to start. I brought a lot of books with me, and I'm not from around these parts, so there's some unique sort of what's the term? Things that we could learn about each other, and that actually might build trust and help us be more studious together.
Interesting. Where do you come from? Not from around here.
Well, it's a pretty remote Kitsune village. I think it's in the northwest. I forgot where we put it.
Northeast, I think. But yes.
Northeast, yeah.
Kitsune. So do you? I mean, I could, of course, tell. Do you have the transformative?
Well, get me away, and I kind of like spin around.
I've to be honest, not really encountered any before, but I have heard of your transformative abilities.
Oh, now that's something for us to work our way up to. Kind of like your book over there.
Oh, I see. Very well. Well, and he'll, like, if you kind of like walk to your room at this point,
Yeah.
And what does he see in this? I mean, you've only been here a short couple of days, but as you have unpacked, what does your room look like?
Yeah, so Overnose is kind of resting on the bed, and there is 4 solid tomes of, well, not solid tomes, solid shelves of tomes, just like barely covering the edge, like almost to the point where you're like, this is probably going to fall eventually. Like one of those classic cases of like you're not in the room and you hear this loud crash and like, that was too much weight. That is 100% what it looks like. There are 4 of these shelves, so it will be probably a big boom at some point in time. There's a bunch of stuff about just our village history, just of the area, just some history of the area around here. Light nighttime reading when one isn't studying. You know how it goes.
Yes, this is impressive. May I?
After you go for it. You can even consider it your own personal library. You can check out stuff if you want to.
Oh, well, that is...
I don't know why I have a Southern accent now, but all right.
It's to counteract the British.
Yeah, right? Come on in.
Come on in,
I've been in North Carolina too long, y'all. I'm assimilating.
Let me show you my hospitality.
Yeah, right.
So he'll go to the bookshelves and he'll start kind of running his hands like through the spines, glancing at what you have in the selection, and he's like, well, that is very generous of you. I appreciate it. Oh, I have read this one. That's lovely. And he'll pull one of the books out, and you said it's a lot of what's it called? A lot of
like Hideaki's like confidence and experience around the world, even though he's never traveled anywhere outside of his village, comes from all the books here. So it would be sort of any knowledge that he could have picked up on, like throughout his like growing up, would be on these 4 shelves.
Okay. So go so one of the things, he kind of pauses at one of the books, which seems to have like it's more of like a history of some of the nations around specifically the Mwangi Expanse.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll pause on that one, and he'll like kind of pull it out, look at the cover, and flips through some pages. Pauses on one. Smiles, closes it, puts it back. Maria's interested.
Do I have your attention now?
And he just kind of like puts it back without a comment. Well, it does seem like you are indeed the studious type, and I must admit I do take my studies seriously, and as long as you're willing to do the same, I would, once of course you're done with these tasks that Essie, I believe, has you all doing, be more than happy to try.
Cool.
See how
That's why I figured might as well start the conversation now.
I appreciate your initiative, and I look forward to learning more about you.
Right back at you. Looking forward to working with you.
He'll kind of like have headed out of your room, but he kind of stops at the door, and he kind of has like one hand on the frame. Looks at you, smiles, waves, turns around, and heads back to his room. Have a good night.
You too. And I'll, as I hear him leave, I'll look over to Overnoza and I just say, B1 to C3, check.
Amazing. Fucking love it. I have a question. Did you have an ulterior motive in terms of watching him or anything in that process? Like, were you watching for something in particular?
Not anything in particular. It was a study of sort of the overall, like his mannerisms, how he perceives the things around him, what intrigues him. He is preparing for the final exam of this guy. Like he wants to know, he wants to unpack all of it, and in doing so, like gain enough trust to open that fucking book. He's ready to play the long game.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and make me a perception check in retro for
Sure. The book, I assume?
The books, yeah.
Ooh, what is that? Oh, that's really great. That's a 24.
Oh, wow. Okay. Amazing.
Yeah, 18 plus 6. Plus 4. Sorry, it's plus 4. 18 plus 4 is 22.
22. Okay. I am going to grab a very quick map because...
Ooh,
okay, perfect.
Maps.
No, more for my reference because of
for your yeah, sure.
Yeah, like a Mwangi Expanse lore, so to speak. Okay, so you noticed obviously which book he had grabbed.
I did.
And you saw like kind of where he had stopped, but like you weren't looking over his shoulder directly. So if you go back after he leaves and open that book up and kind of look, be like, okay, well, he was somewhere around here. The only section that stands out to you, because it is all around the Mwangi Expanse, is a section of specifically the Mwangi jungle and some of those, and it talks very briefly about some neighboring countries, and you think that it was either about the section right before of the Mwangi jungle, or the next section, which is about the neighboring country. Specifically, the first section is of the colony of Sargava. And why that was of interest to him, which of those they were, you're not quite sure, but it's somewhere in those section of the book. All right.
I go to like earmark the page and then pause, open a drawer, grab a bookmark, close the top.
As a lover of books, me, Syrup, I thank you. I thank you for Hideaki's choice.
See, Duval would not have. Duval's like, don't care. Hideaki is. Duval's like, where's the audiobook of this?
That's fair. That is very fair. All right. Perfect. So with that, oh, yes.
Can I interrupt for a super quick small scene?
Yes, you may.
All right. During the night, probably there might be people up, but it's probably pretty late. Ark would make his way to the painting.
Oh yes,
Cool.
What's it called? The all-seeing solutions.
Yeah. The all-seeing solution painting.
Yes, of course.
And then how this works is he's supposed to give it a coin, right?
Yeah. Let me double check for you. It is specifically.
I forgot about this place. You're supposed to put the coin in front of the light side and then ask the question to the dark side.
It is. So it's a silver piece, and you put it into the slot of where the white eye is. Correct. And you place the coin into the white eye, and then you hold your question or your written assignment or whatever in front of the black eye, and then a piece of paper ejects from the mouth.
Okay. Ark is going to do that. Exactly. He's going to put the silver piece in front of it, or into it, and then he had this piece of paper pre-written, and he just comes up and holds the piece of paper in front of the black eye, and it says, "Who are you?"
Okay. And I'm gonna roll for this. High or low?
Hi.
Okay. A piece of paper ejects from the mouth.
Okay. Ark picks it up and reads it.
Sorry, I had to make you say that. You go to unfurl the piece of paper and you're like very curious for what potential answers this all-seeing solutions holds. As it unfurls, you read the words, "Your penmanship leaves something to be desired."
Ark sits there and reads it a second, glances back up to the dark eye, and then he wads up the piece of paper and sticks it in the coin slot to block any more coins going in, and then goes back to his room.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
All right, that was it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. God, I love it when y'all do this to me. All right, so when you don't understand, for those of you, anyone out there watching this that knows, share with me. But everybody else, sorry.
I know nothing, but Ark thinks there's somebody in there writing stuff back to people.
I love it. I love it.
I hope that's true. That's incredible.
Perfect.
It's like what we think about every like carnival game ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with that, is there anything else before we head to the next morning? Okay.
And the page turns.
Waffles.
Peanut butter.
So yes, of course. The next day, you have your usual meeting spot. You probably grab some breakfast beforehand, and they do have waffles, of course, and they do have peanut butter. You know what? It's running. The peanut butter is running dangerously low. It's a little concerning, but there's still enough. It's okay. It's okay.
Tragedy at breakfast. Tragedy at breakfast.
We eat still a jar.
You secure it for later. And there's fresh fruit, of course, and some, for those that eat, different cultures have a heartier breakfast. So there's meats and rice and all sorts of things as well for any and all cultures. But after breakfast, I don't do this because I want to. I'm forced to describe every food by these players. This is an obligation at this point.
I just want eggs and rice.
What's the kernel output on the rice?
Are we doing
How many grains are there?
Our casts approximate.
Ark is just walking. If it's like a cafeteria line, he's just walking down, casting approximate on every bowl, trying to get the most rice. He's like, this one has 550 pieces.
Oh my god. This is not what magic was meant for.
This is exactly what
everyone would use magic for.
Exactly,
This is the practical application of everyday magic right here.
You know it would happen in any magic school in the world.
Every magic school.
Very.
All of them.
100%.
All right. So, the following day at the usual meeting spot, there to greet you, you see 3 figures. Anchor Root, Mariama, Keitana is her last name, and Chizire. So 3 figures wait in front of the dorms, though one has curled up on a blanket in a miraculously dry spot and seems half asleep. Mariama observes the drowsing catfolk with detached interest before turning to raise your hand in greeting to all of you.
This is my friend. I'm so excited.
From an objective standpoint, it's really impressive how he can sleep anywhere. Anyway, we're Cascade Bearers, or at least I am. And Anchor Root is filling in because Chizire is Chizire. Cascade Bearers advance magical theory. It's also our job to make new magic safe for everyone to use, so we don't have a repeat of the exploding nose incident. She puts her hand up before Hideaki can say anything. We don't talk about the exploding nose incident. Since you've shown us there are gremlins around, though, we're gonna go and do some sparkly finger wiggles to help deal with that. We need some special oils to do the ritual, though, so Anchor Root here is going to tell you what to get. And the small gnoll instinctively squeaks and flinches as the attention turns to her. We need scarlet cap oil, bone oil, and caterpillar oil. But they need to be right. I'll just show you. If you have trouble making the oil, Mariama adds, just come back here and I'll wake Chizire up. He's good at brewing. Be done in 8 hours, or you'll miss dinner. And try to have fun.
Okay.
And
Wait a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
So we'll miss dinner because we'll still be in the process of making stuff?
Well, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take for you to,
the penalty?
No, if you, it's like whatever time it is right now. You'll miss dinner if it takes you too long. That's all. I was just trying to.
Okay.
Warn you.
Provide a penalty ahead of time?
No, it's not a penalty. I
think it's more of just try to get.
I was taking care of you
before dinner. Otherwise, you'll miss
okay,
it.
I'm over in line.
Hungry.
Okay, that's cool.
It's okay. All right. Well, I wish I could nap. How did he find a dry spot? That's
So
the
Tal,
impressive part.
as an aside,
curious
Tal
about
was not standing with everyone while this conversation was happening. Tal had gone over to where he was napping and had crouched down next to him, and was just kind of looking at him as he was sleeping.
And he's half asleep, and he's opens one eye, as he is like like your shadow like crosses over him.
How are you sleeping? There's so much to do. Hello?
And then he turns over and rolls over to the other side.
You're going to miss all the fun.
What fun. It's early.
Well, I mean, it's not that early. Okay. Okay, well, okay. I have a question. What I feel like you described like what he looks like, but like compared to how Tao decorates themselves and
Sure.
like, you know, the circus life and everything and its colors and everything like that. How does this lovely individual look from like a strictly physical appearance look? Like, do I know like where they might be from, or?
That's a great question. So go ahead and
I have something. Wait, I have something for this.
oh, what's it?
What's this?
Do you have cat folklore?
Well, I might have that. Also,
I know a lot of ancestries get like their own ancestry lore. Like if you
I
take
might
that
actually
feat.
have that.
Yeah, because
Oh no, I have circus lore. That's different.
Okay.
I know about the circus. No, never mind. It's something that I get from conversations, so that's not anything extra. So what would you like me to roll?
You can go ahead and roll a society check.
Okay. Society. 17 is what I
Nice.
got.
Nice. So, and actually this might be me, Syrup, not fully knowing cat folklore, but I do believe that they're found in a lot of places, like in multiple areas. But give me a second here.
I think that's correct, because when I was looking at, there was like some that hailed more from like colder climates or
Right.
like
So-
more jungle climates or things of that nature.
But similar to different like species of cats in general, with like markings and just like breed, I'd like to akin that to the variations that you might find within cat folk as well, who come from different societies. So does that, you've seen the photo of him, right? I have a handout. I believe it's showing to the
Yeah.
players. And if you look at the kind of cat that he is more from what you would assume is local to the Mwangi Expanse. I kind of think he looks a little bit like a bobcat, a little bit. I don't know how there's so many like small big cats. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But he has very long, elongated ears, sandy color with some darker markings at top. So he's probably from somewhere relatively local in the Mwangi Expanse.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's not nearly as decorated as you. He is dressed in like the comfiest of clothes in terms of like a lot of wrapped cloth and like layers like that way, just kind of like just wrapped around him, baggy pants, things like that. But in the very much the classical style of a lot of people that you'll see running around Natambu.
Okay.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
Makes mental notes.
I mean, you, like, I'm not gonna dissuade you. Like, if you want to wake him up, like, I know that I was practicing making my very soft snoring noises.
Wake him up later when we don't have a
alright.
job to do.
So at that point, Anchor Root, kind of glancing at you, Tal, as you're kind of like over by Chazira, and like, if you want to, I could show you. I have some stuff. in my room to show you what you need.
Okay. That'd be very helpful.
Okay. And she'll lead you. Like, she has that moment where she pauses and she's like, okay. And she just ducks and heads inside towards her room. And if you all follow her there, I believe Tal has already been there. But her room as you enter is mostly neat, save for the occasional dried chicken dropping from her chicken that's tied on a stick or tied on a rope to a stick in the middle of her room. There's stacks of small cleaned animal bones sitting in the corners of the room, and several large tubs which, as she brings you over, serve as a home for her collections of pet fruit beetles. And we might want to throw a trigger warning out here, as we are going to be talking about some bugs and things. So if anybody glances in one of those tubs, those beetles, those fruit beetles, are like, some are the size of a human fist. Yep.
Bugs.
Is that normal? Do we know?
Go ahead and make a nature check.
Nature check.
20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, so I mean, they come in a variety of sizes, but they're some larger ones for sure. It's just the species. Okay, so as she kind of goes over, so like I said, you there's scarlet cap oil, bone oil, and caterpillar oil. So with the bone oil, you'll need to get lucky bones. So yeah.
What, you said lucky bones? Where does
Yeah.
someone get lucky? What makes a bone lucky?
I don't really know how I know. I just know that, like, you could just bring me a lot of them and I'll pick out the lucky ones.
Okay. Just any kind of bone, or
Do
Just
they
lucky
need to
bones.
come from something in particular?
No,
Just
a
bones?
lot of things can be lucky.
Okay.
Can I make a crafting check? Have I ever heard of lucky bones? If it seems like that's where these oil particularly come from.
Are you said crafting check. What kind of what do you think, like, how are you trying to think about it? Like, you're trying to think, like, medicinally? Are there bones, like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you trying to differentiate?
I hear what you're saying.
I just don't see how crafting partakes.
I mean, because you're supposed to make bone oil out of them for a potion, so I imagine they would be a reagent for crafting, or regent, however you pronounce it.
So the process, so currently you're being tasked with getting the things needed to make the oil. You'll make the oil later. So that would be crafting, but right now she's like, to make the oil, the core is going to need to be lucky bones, and they'll be like, I think, burned and like made into like an oil.
Sure.
So
hear me out. These lucky bones are dominoes, right?
Is that a domino term?
Yeah, when you play dominoes, you play bones. So
awesome.
The more you know. But if you want to know if like lucky bones are a thing, you can make a nature check, or even a magical
Would this
one
be
of
an
any kind.
occultism thing?
You can make an
Would this be
occultism check.
occultism thing?
Actually, Arafe, I would for you make, and you could take that same roll, but go ahead and make a religion check.
I will make a religion check because it's better. Or not.
You can take, so you originally rolled a 14. What's your modifier?
+4.
Okay, so that would be a 18 for religion. Occultism from Tall.
And Ark.
And Ark.
Dang.
Why is your occultism so high?
Ark's
Who are you?
Ark's a smart cookie. He's read a lot of things.
Does that say +7?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I don't think I have anything that's a +7. I think I have a +4 at the most.
I got some 6s, but I think
That's the 4 int and the 3 from being trained, basically.
How are you all so skilled at things?
So, yeah, actually, both of you with the occultism, you're looking at it in like a magical sense and how those things can apply. And Hideaki, did you want to roll as well? Oh, can't hear you.
I hear you again.
Is it just me?
Oh, actually, this time I actually muted myself.
Okay.
Am I there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that time I actually muted myself, so because I went to do the thingy. Oh, that's not too shabby. Yeah, that's a natural 20.
that's not
too
bad.
shabby.
I mean, it's fine.
That's not too shabby.
It's actually a really hard dice to read, and I saw 2 numbers. Huh? I think it's a 10. No, it's not. It's a natural 20.
It's not too shabby.
which-
It's just the best you can roll. No big deal.
It's just
What are
the
you
best
rolling?
You can roll, right?
Occult, arcane, religion.
I will go with arcane. And I will make that a 26. It'll be a 26 regardless of arcane or occultism, though.
So that's critical success and everything. Though I don't know if that counts for skill checks. I don't remember with Pathfinder2e.
It does.
It does. Okay. So the two of you, let's go with Tall and Ark. You guys rolled well on your occultism. There are, in the occult world, in the magic that you're looking at or considering, it's not so much a thing like of curses. Do you know how you can do that kind of stuff? But typically, if you think of the reverse, like making something unlucky or in that aspect, that is typically tied to the divine. And you could assume that the reverse of lucky is also. Hideaki with your natural 20 as well, and Star with, or rather Arafe with your religion, which is an 18. You know that there are some divination spells that might help figure out if something is lucky in that sense, but it does seem like Anchor Root just innately knows. Like when you see what she's talking about, she's not talking about like casting a spell. She's just like, I just know, so probably tied with that. I will say you've heard of, and this is for Hideaki, it is a divination spell, but just clicks to you with that natural 20 of you've heard of a spell that can read objects that might be able to identify that, and it's called object reading.
Object reading. Good to know.
Oh, okay. So, and then you can bring those back, and then when I pick the lucky ones, then we'll do the thing. We'll burn them and we'll make them into. Anyways, the scarlet cap oil. Hold on. She kind of goes over to a shelf and takes a handful of dried mushrooms, and she's they kind of holds them up to y'all. They look like these, and it's a cluster of dried red cup-shaped mushrooms. These are dried, so we can't use them, but you'll need to find fresh ones, and then we can do that. There's Red Ridge Mother calls them tree blood. Sorry, but they like sunlight and moonlight, so they'll probably grow on really, really high trees or something in the jungle. And don't worry, they don't really look like any like poisonous mushrooms, so you don't have to worry about that.
Did you say the Red Ridge Mother?
Oh,
Who's that?
yeah. My clan.
Well, they sound wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
And sorry, I got
Okay.
caught up on that. Did you say that they liked to be in the sunlight?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I'm like, oh, I heard a name. Write that down. I missed everything
right.
after that. Dang it.
They like so. They don't look like any other kind of poisonous mushroom in the area, so you'll be okay. But like, she's not worried about that. But the ones that work best are ones that receive a lot of sunlight and moonlight. I got that wrong, sorry. So if you can harvest them higher up on the tree, then it's probably better. Okay. There's an area where I found these, and you could probably find more over there. And she'll kind of describe an area of the jungle and like the direction that you might want to go into for those particular. The bones are.
Sir, question for you.
Yeah.
Being that I walked through the jungle to get here, is there anything that sounds familiar about this area that they're describing?
Not particularly, because what she's describing is like, if you go to the jungle in this direction, there's a little bit of a clearing with a very big tree, and that's where I found these. It's not really anything special. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then in character, question. So, is there anything you need to worry about from like you know how like sometimes there are like red mushrooms and red mushrooms with spots. So like you mentioned specifically poisonous mushrooms, but what about like, you know, this is the right one and this is the wrong one, but there's like a little like minuscule difference between the two? Like, is there anything like that we should be worried about?
Oh, that's it's good that you could distinguish that. Not. I haven't seen any that look quite like this, so I think you'll be fine. But you could
Alright.
like.
Just want to make sure we don't pick the wrong one.
Yeah. I don't think there's any that are similar enough that you won't be able to tell. If they're not red, then probably not this. Okay. Okay, and then, as I lose my page. And over here, and she goes to, like, one of the tubs, and very cautiously, and you can see, like, she goes to, like, put on a glove that she has, and she'll reach in, and on it is a very colorful larva, trigger warning everybody, with very fuzzy tufts. It's a very colorful caterpillar, very like tufty one. These are the caterpillars that you'd be looking for, but don't touch them. They're really painful.
Got it.
I don't know if I I'm really sorry. I don't know that I could watch you guys turn them into oil, though. You'll have to do that on your own because I don't want to hurt them.
That's okay. That's totally fine. We can take care of that. Okay. You're helping us enough the way it is.
Okay. Are you?
Yeah,
okay.
You know you're like undefeated in like being fantastic, right?
Oh no! I no.
Like last I checked, like at least 8-0. Like yeah, you're doing great.
Oh, 8-0.
8 wins, 0 losses. No.
Am I? Did I miss anything? Could I have done more?
Oh,
I didn't do a good job yesterday, did I? I'm
you
sorry.
did a wonderful job yesterday.
Awesome.
But you got hurt and okay. Okay. Is there anything
That's
else?
not your fault. That's my fault.
Okay. Just kind of like looking around nervously, realizing that like she's in her room and she really can't escape anywhere else.
Arafe picking that up will be like, okay, so we will go find this stuff and we'll come find you when we come back.
Okay.
After we take care of the caterpillar stuff.
Yes, we'll take care of the caterpillars. No need to worry about that. Thank you again, Anchor, for all of your help. You help us a lot.
Yeah, that's, of course, I'm glad I could help. Thank you for doing this.
No problem. We got this. And I'm going to start, like, shooing us out, seeing that Anchor is uncomfortable with us being there.
Ark will Ark will kind of like look past as they're being shoot out at first and say, "Do you know if any of these places are dangerous?"
Oh, I mean, it's the jungle, so you should definitely be careful if you're going out there. But I don't know where you're going to get the bones, so I don't know.
Thank you. And then he'll be shoot out.
Okay. All right.
I feel like Hideaki will not get the message. It's like what?
It's just getting literally pushed out.
Yes.
Perfect.
Ark. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Ark will look at the rest of the crew as we're kind of pushed out into the hallway and say, "Should I prepare for battle or to climb a tree?"
I'm hoping we don't have to fight anything today, but climbing sounds like a for sure.
Okay. If you could wait 10 minutes, I
Selfishly, though?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't disagree, but selfishly, I kind of want to see what your battle stuff looks like.
I agree with you there.
Like, there's like this like undercurrent of absolute excitement. Like, it's just like, oh boy.
All of the viewers agree.
You see him like stare for a moment and says, "Well, if we happen to have a day that we are completely off or not in danger, let me know and I will show you one."
A demonstration?
Sure.
This is the best thing that's happened since we got here, since we found out about the peanut butter. I'm so excited. Let's go.
So yeah, Ark, he had said basically give him 10 minutes, and he walks off to their room.
Okay.
And then basically he's gonna lock the door behind him, and you see him sit on his bed, and he opens 2 plates on his leg and begins to tinker around for approximately 10 minutes as he prepares the jump spell.
Not plates as in like dinner plates, y'all.
No.
As in like pieces.
As in like he's made out of metal and.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the china. That's where we left it.
The fine china. He locked the door, just so nobody sees where he keeps the fine china.
And they're really weird plates because they're open as well.
There's secret compartments on your china?
Wow.
It's where I
There's
keep
a lot of there's like a quadruple meaning to this.
it's where I keep the peanut butter.
He's floating in his legs.
Call that.
Amazing.
Why you have such thick thighs?
Where I keep my peanut butter.
Yeah. Protein.
Let's go.
It's like training weights. He's like, just wait, take that as peanut butter.
Get in the battle, and he just takes the peanut butter out of his legs and can move like 50% faster.
It's the rock. Yes. It's the rock leaf
from Naruto.
Except it's just globs of peanut butter.
Oh, we're focusing real well today.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
We just need we need a meter on the stream that just says like ADHD meter and just
Yes.
It's like a fluctuating thing.
I want like, all right, we'll take positions. We'll open up a position at this time. Someone to moderate and just kind of fluctuate that monitor of.
Where we at percentage wise?
I'll give you like $5.
All right. So we have a few things. We have bone oil, scarlet cap oil, caterpillar oil. For these 3 initiatives, you need to obtain bones, caterpillars, and scarlet cap mushrooms. Where would you like to begin with the information that you have? And where would you like to head off to?
So, in character. I think that,
Assuming we're like meandering elsewhere.
so, on the road, a lot of places that we can find bones and things of that, of things that have passed away, are in the trees, in the forests. If we also have to find these mushrooms in the jungle, we might as well try to... The odds are better that we can find either that, or we go back to try to find that fancy market and see if there's anyone that has any, a butcher or something like that that happens to have extra bones laying around.
There are likely caterpillars in the jungle.
Speaking of which, Anchor told us not to touch them. Do we want to bring gloves and bags and something with so that we don't have to come into contact?
Well, we still have the nets that we got that we never actually ended up using.
That's true.
So we could just.
Good work.
I'm sorry. Like, you know how caterpillars crawl on like leaves and things like that, and I'm just imagining like Hideaki throwing the net over like the whole bush and being like, I got it.
I got the caterpillar.
Got him! You took the whole thing. It still counts.
Still got it. It's still in there.
I still
It
won.
is an A. Wait, that's not an
I
A.
didn't see any bylines of do not desecrate the entirety of the jungle.
Nope. Not at all.
We're not in the
And he would be totally
instructions,
fine.
so that is up to our discretion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ark will
Plus,
also pipe in.
if I recall correctly,
Sorry. Ark will also pipe in and say, we could also ask those that have already been through it, that we've met, like Essie or those students.
that's a good idea.
Definitely ask. They may know.
Plus, I have to imagine that where things could sort of die and like, isn't it like mushrooms sometimes come out of like decay and stuff like that? So definitely a 2 birds, 1 stone type scenario. I'd hope. But yeah, who do we want to start with?
These mushrooms, though, are going to be on, like, very tall trees. But
Why?
the idea is there.
Only we knew someone with a hang glider.
Or someone who's very good at climbing.
I think, Ark, you said that you would be good at that, didn't you?
I can, yes.
And Tal did like touch her nose, right?
I'm also very good at
You're very good at climbing too?
Well,
I am
mean,
not.
I did a lot of that at home. So.
I will cheer from the ground and attempt to catch
I'll join
anybody
you
else.
in the chair.
All right.
Matter of fact,
so are
we'll
you
look for the
heading-
caterpillars during that time.
That would be a good idea. Maybe we should head towards where we know something is and see what we find along the way, and then move from there.
Okay.
Sure.
Cool. Nearest jungle.
All right. So you'll head towards the area that Anchor Root described for the scarlet cat mushrooms.
Yes.
I think so.
Alrighty. So, and she did, just for your information, it is about an hour outside of Natanbu.
Sounds
She
about
kind of
right.
pointed to- Yeah. All right. So, as you guys set off, unless there's any other preparing, you guys head off out of the Magaambyan campus. Out
I would
towards this- yes.
pop in to see Ignacy just really quick and just be like, "Yo, did you do this? And like, are you like, like what's a good place to check? Like that kind of thing."
Gotcha. It relatively early in the morning. Ignacy kind of like answers the door with a messy bedhead. As he, oh, I'm sorry. What? What?
Oh, did I say that too fast? We're getting ready to head out, but was wondering if you did the caterpillar and bone stuff before. In the oils?
Caterpillar and no, I'm sorry. No.
All right.
He just
I like
closed
Kiriaki's
my
energy.
door in my face.
All to a great start.
Off to a great start. As a
relationship
reminder, just because I think it may have been lost. What Mariama had said was that since you've shown that there were gremlins around, they're going to. This is a ritual. You're preparing oils for a ritual that is going to be specifically for the gremlins. So it's probably not something that anybody else has done. They're just utilizing the fact that it is a good opportunity to have you guys do this.
Yeah, this school has been around
Makes sense.
forever. I guarantee they've had at least one other gremlin problem.
But I
First
do not
time,
regret
weirdest
my
thing.
choice. I don't regret my choice whatsoever.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
It tracks.
Okay. Boy, does it ever.
Okay,
He's
so
gonna,
as
he's
you
probably
guys,
gonna like. Never mind.
no, go ahead.
I was like, he's probably not gonna let me close the door ever again.
He's just gonna instinctively like stick his leg in there, like no.
Like, it's not your door, bro. Stop.
Love it. So as you guys head off campus and through the city, off to we're going to say northeast. Picked a random direction. And
That was what I was going to pick anyway. Perfect.
cool. Yeah. No, I knew. That's why yeah. So you
Great
guys
minds.
start walking through the jungle. It is an hour trek, and it is rainy, but the jungle does provide some protection. And you go pretty confident in Anchorroot's directions. She did say, like, if you leave town from here and go north, like due northeast, it'll take a while, but there's a clearing with a big tree, and so you're keeping an eye out for mushrooms along the way, just to see like where this can be. And as you guys, well, actually, I'll ask, along the way, are you currently focusing on finding this location, or are you also trying to look for caterpillars?
I think Ark would be trying to look for caterpillars.
Okay.
So would Hideaki.
Okay.
Which of us do you think would be the best with directions? Is anybody good at that?
I have a -1.
Oh, -1 to what?
Okay.
Survival.
Survival. That would make the most sense. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm
Decent.
all right.
+4.
Same.
Well, I'm not that good, but you know.
So if Hideaki's going to be looking for caterpillars, then Arafe will just try and make sure we're staying on track and look for the location
Of
we're
course.
going to.
Perfect.
Just so that we're kind of...
Tal, if we're, are we in the trees? Tal might literally be up. Tal might be in the trees.
That may be my favorite thing.
Ever been asked.
Just the packet loss to get to the point. I loved it.
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, once you've left the city, are in the jungle. So
Is it a dense jungle? I would like to be in the trees.
okay, perfect.
I'm saying Tal says that they're looking for mushrooms. Tal just wants to be up in the trees.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check as you are trying to traverse above. Those.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, 16. For those that are looking for the caterpillars, go ahead and roll me. Well, I'll let you guys decide. I mean, are you kind of just looking around? You want to do perception? Are you trying to, like... I'll say this. since you guys are walking through in a specific direction, I would say you can just look around you, see if you can see signs of them as you go by. Doing anything further, like looking for the signs of them and through nature checks or survival checks, would mean that you would be like going around in these areas and instead of going towards the tree. So go ahead and make perception checks, and then survival for Airfay.
10. 10 perception.
13.
Okay. Tal, it is slippery, but it is fun.
Good, great, good, great, good.
And Airfay 13. Okay, great. So, you keep everybody on track as they're eyeing through like the leaves and the bushes and the trees for some caterpillars. You're like northeast, tracking the sun through the leaves and everything. And it does take you about an hour of walking to reach this clearing where a tall tree stands. Along the way, you did not see any caterpillars. There have been a couple times where you were like, I want to go over there because it looks like there's a lot of whatever. We got to go this way. You know, unfortunately, you couldn't quite go off the track. And as you reach this beautiful clearing, I will pull you to this gorgeous looking tree.
Look at that tree.
Which, as you enter, is just covered and dotted with these blood red mushroom caps.
I guess I'll come down from our tree since this isn't a clearing.
Yes,
I'll come
you
down
would
from
have
the
to.
trees.
And as you approach, go ahead and like just pull yourselves on there.
This isn't a battle map.
No. It's a
Not at
beautiful
all.
tree. It's about climbing.
Quite peaceful.
Doop, doop, doo.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, never mind.
It's actually
As you approach and see like the dotted tree trunks and branches, you understand now why Anchor Root mentioned that the Red Ridge Mother calls them tree blood, because they're just shockingly red against like the bark. And it's like, oh yeah, that tracks with what she mentioned. Okay, well, you're here. What's going on? So I will say the tree is covered with mushrooms as high as like 20 feet up. And it has like several wide leaves that are like drooping down from the top of the tree.
How tall is this tree? You may have just said it, and it might.
No, because the tree is much taller, but it's like the mushrooms are up to like as high as 20 feet up the trunk of it. Yeah.
But how tall is this tree?
The trunk is at least 20 feet tall, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's very, very tall. It's a very big
Fantastic. Tal is looking up. and just kind of like eyes go from like up to like sideways to like whoever is sitting nearby and says,
Does anyone have one of those? Does anyone have a bag or a net? Because I can go up and I can get the mushrooms.
I have a
What?
Tal
have
looks
a
at Ark.
bag.
Wait, Tal looks at Ark.
You're up.
You want to have a competition to see who can get the most mushrooms?
We can if you
Oh
wish.
shit. I have a conflict on who I want to root for here.
What are the stakes?
There's
Everything. Bragging rights. Sundays.
More book carrying.
Honor and glory.
All the book here.
Yeah.
There does not have to be stakes.
The
That was me
canonical.
just inputting. Okay. So, is there going to be a competition?
Ark's down. Yeah, Art basically like looks at Town and says, "If you wish, this is what I did spend my time on today, so..."
Okay.
All right.
And they'll take a bag or a net or whatever from someone. They don't carry those typically.
Yeah.
Tied around one of the many sashes they have around their waist.
Alright.
Yeah.
Are
You
you?
know, we didn't ask before we left how many we need.
That's why we're just going to take a whole lot of them.
We'll just
Sounds
get
good.
a lot, and eventually they'll all dry out.
Well, if it gets enough, some of them will.
Whatever we feel is
Alright.
comfortable traveling.
Yes.
So I guess you guys are coming in from the east. It looks like. Where are you climbing? Like I mentioned, there is some like branches that are hanging low. Are you gonna try to like jump up to one of those branches? Are you climbing up the trunk? Like what are each of you doing?
All right, so let's set the scene here first. You said that there's only mushrooms up 20 feet. They're not any higher.
they
Like,
start
are they
with-
on branches that are higher? I know you said the trunk itself, but like,
Yeah, the trunk splits. It's like one of those. There are branches as well, but like the trunk itself is like has a lot of like just pieces to it in every direction. So there are up, even in the branch, like onto the bigger pieces of the branches, up to 20 feet high. Exactly as it looks on the paint. or
So
on
they
the-
they start at 20? I guess I'm also a little bit lost. Do they start 20 feet up and go up to the top of the tree?
They
Or
are
from like
up
the
to
ground.
There are some on the ground. Anchor Root specifically asked for ones that had the most sunlight and moonlight
Higher up.
exposure.
all right, so
Yeah,
we're,
so
we're only
higher up.
really going 20 feet up,
Awesome.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Art is going to look for a relatively nice sized limb that is 20 feet up. Cast jump. And jump up there. That's my plan.
Okay.
Cool.
And
My
where do you
plan is-
position? Go ahead and
my
position
plan is
yourself
just go-
wherever you want to position yourself.
I want to be where there are the most
I want to be where
the most
people are.
branches and best ways to.
Oh, I thought you were going Pokemon there.
All right.
I guess over here.
Okay.
That can
All right.
like-
So as you guys, and I'm gonna move you guys a little bit. As you guys come closer and have this conversation about like getting ready to jump, I just want to give you guys even here. You guys look at each other and you're like, okay, ready? And as you do, I know, I can't build suspense here. It's fine.
And as
Don't,
you,
I see Waffles like giggling over there.
or you gotta come up with a line. So like you gotta be like, couple of things are gonna happen, or like like you gotta
Okay,
you gotta drop.
I'll get better at it. I'll improve.
You gotta,
You're-
I'll workshop.
you gotta drop that line that says,
Jason Carl.
"Shit's about to go down."
Yes.
Yeah.
As you gather and you start like laying down the rules of this competition, and you're like, okay, we got like, no, you can't go that far ahead. Like, let's both start right here, and figuring all of those details out. You hear a rustling of some kind, and who speaks? Undercommon.
Me.
I love how we were saying Ark knows so many languages, but each time so far.
This is the same one though. This is
Was it the same one?
It's the
My
same
bad.
one as last time.
Yeah.
My
It is the
bad.
same one. Yes.
However, how
Undercommon.
coincidental that the two times.
Yes, very coincidental. So you hear this like grunt, and then it takes you a second, Hideaki, to process that that's a language that you recognize. It's Undercommon, and you hear like, no, tasty, and you hear this moving of the limbs, and before you can like, here, let me do this branch above you, as I can't grab this branch above you starts bending down, and right between all of you. What the heck just happened?
You control Z, Shift Z.
How do you do the thing?
Shift Z.
There you go.
Mushroom.
Yes, trigger warning. I know some people that do not like mushrooms, by the way. So trigger warning for mushrooms. This creature. Not sure if anybody might know who it is, and I'll let you guys roll for that in a bit.
I did.
Okay.
I think.
Well, not as the player, but as character,
Yeah.
rather.
Yeah.
This creature comes down from a branch. It looks like he grabbed an edge of a branch and hopped down, lowering himself to the ground beneath you, between all of you. And as he kind of lands, looking around wildly at all of you with this really angry expression, a cloud of spores emits as he lands.
No.
Yeah. That's what I was afraid of.
When we return from break, we will go ahead and roll some initiative and saving throws.
Yep. I was looking at the clock and I was like, there we go.
There it is.
I was like, oh, she's gonna break it right now.
Yep.
You betcha. I was gonna do it before, but I did it here. That's all good.
I think this is a better time.
This is better. This is way
Yes,
better.
thank you.
It was definitely.
So we are going to go to break real quick, refresh our drink, stretch, all of that good stuff. You, there, through the camera, should as well, please. And take care of yourself, do what you got to do. We'll be right back. And this little guy is no joke. So I hope you stick around.
Level one.
He's a mean little
one.
Grinch.
Level one.
Oh, yeah. Right, you're level 1.
Yeah.
Level 1.
Yeah.
Someone should tell Paizo.
Well, when
Where every encounter is deadly.
a little bit of insight into it, when you kept saying it was 20 feet, eventually, the third time, the third time, my brain goes, oh yeah, because we're level 1. If it was 40 feet, we would die if we fell.
That's very fair.
Yep.
I was wondering because it didn't actually say, because all I had, that's why I was looking, because it was a solid question, and I was like, I have no idea how tall this tree is. I just know the mushrooms are as high as 20 feet.
Okay.
But that's why, that makes sense, because why would you go higher than that?
Yep.
That'd be stupid. Stares at the camera.
Hey.
Okay, all right, we'll jump to break, and we'll be right back.
All right, we'll be right back, guys.
Welcome to the first real combat. I'm calling it real because this kiddo over here is an angry boy and he's gonna fight. So, this little creature, one which you do not know quite what it is, though I have some guesses, which I can't wait to make you guys figure it out and then reward any right guesses. So, this creature, as you guys talked about, jumping into the trees and having this competition, it growled and grabbed this branch and jumped down, using it kind of to deposit itself in the middle of you all as let me see, yes, as it growls. I forget what I said. It was something like tasty. And yes, thank you. As it deposits itself right in the middle of you all, there's this popping noise as out from it emit spores. I had everybody roll initiative already, so we had that squared away. And as we do, because he's starting us off.
Oh.
I'm gonna just that's fine. I know we don't really have surprise rounds here, but I'm gonna say he started this off with initiative, so I will leave it up to what you guys prefer. We're gonna actually handle what he did in just a second. Do you want me to start where he was and go down the list and back up, or do you want to simply start at the top and potentially have him go again?
I think it'd be fine for him to go first, because I
surprise round.
think I was sort of processing what was being said, so I would not have really had a chance other than to just be like, incoming. That's about it,
Perfect.
Yeah,
all right,
and I don't think
so
any
now-
of us knew what was being said, so we wouldn't really have had to
Yeah,
like,
I'm the only one.
oh, a
so-
mushroom
true.
person.
What's that thing
Very
coming
good.
out of the tree? Oh God!
Oh God!
So,
yeah, exactly.
The guesses, I just want them verbally said out loud here. Waffles, what was your guess for what this little creature is?
A fungus lishy.
Okay. Star, do you want to actually put that guess
You
out?
gotta throw it
truckle.
out for the fans. Right?
Is it a bow
It's
truckle?
a bow truckle.
Amazing. And until somebody, and reminder, if you want to find out what it is a recall knowledge check, which would take one of your actions in combat. But if anybody wants to do that and figure out what it is, we'll find out if you're right or not. And chat, you can guess as well. Okay.
Can I jump in here with a quick recall knowledge rule drop?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just so
Wait.
everyone knows, it's one action to do it, and they are different for each creature. It could be arcane, religion, nature. It could be society for humanoid type monsters, all that kind of stuff. So just you can try to guess to the best of your ability, oh, it's a demon, it's probably a cult or something. So you can probably guess this one's nature, but if that ever helps your character, decide if you want to do recall knowledge or not. It is one action, but it's very helpful. You can find out weaknesses and strengths and special abilities and all kinds of stuff.
Okay. So, as it did that, I need everybody within a 10-foot burst, which and a hum is everybody.
Everyone but our familiars. Amazing. Good.
Amazing. Yeah, I don't it is technically, but it doesn't really matter because actually go ahead and roll for Overnoza as well. I will definitely say not Nim.
Yeah,
Plot armor.
As a reminder, when it comes to effects that affect both a summoner and their I was about to say summonee, but what are they
Eidolon?
called? Eidolons, yes, thank you.
Eidolon? Yeah.
Eidolon?
I don't know. It's a good question. Eidolon. I blame Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah, I've
I'm
always
gonna say
heard
it differently
Eidolon, but that doesn't mean
every
it's right.
time.
Yeah.
So just a reminder for the rules, because I do think it was really interesting how they tried to balance basic. It's not another familiar, so you would roll for the both of you, but you're not going to take double damage. It's just
Right.
I think the worse of the two.
Yep.
That would count as your roll for the two of you.
Yep. It's always the worst for damage and the best for healing.
Sorry, Google said that's Eidolon.
Interesting.
Google's wrong.
Google.
Go away, Google.
No, ma'am.
Google doesn't play TTRPGs.
I feel like you're putting the emphasis
Lols.
on the wrong syllable there.
Yes, I can't help but agree. All right, everybody,
Emphasize.
kindly make me a fortitude saving throw as these little spores come clouding into your face without permission.
I don't know what the fuck this is. Yeah, no consent whatsoever.
Question to interrupt you real quick. Is this a poison or a disease?
This is a disease.
All right, I got a +1 to this roll.
Ooh, very nice.
Good.
Oh,
I'm gonna use a hero point for my natural 1.
Yeah, it's called smart.
I would
good.
that
Much better.
What?
26.
Oh my god.
That was an emotional roller coaster that just happened.
For sure.
I do want, before I hear everybody's like full results, I do see some of those here. Poisons and diseases are not a joke.
Not in Pathfinder.
Not in Pathfinder. As players who have not played Pathfinder before, I feel it is my duty to tell you that should you want to use a hero point, should you have a hero point.
I have one.
I do, and I didn't roll very high.
Also to remember for the
used
balance
one.
of things as well, hero points are the only thing that can allow you to bring yourself back up from being down.
It was worse.
Yes, okay. Yes, that was worse. Ark took his nat one away, and what giveth, what is taketh away must be giveth here. So
Balance has been restored.
Balance has been restored. Yes. So just a reminder, especially in combat such as this, that when you die, or if you go down rather, not when you die.
Anytime you're dying,
you have to.
Anytime you're dying, in condition increases.
Yes, you can spend all of your hero points to stabilize. So if you have multiple, you want to use it as an interesting commerce of spending some of them, so you're not wasting a bunch doing that, but also so you have some. Does that make sense?
And I'll look it up if it comes to it, but I'm pretty sure the interesting thing about it is if you spend your hero points, you stabilize without the wounded condition.
That sounds right.
We'll double check. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, what are people's final rolls?
26.
17.
Whew.
5.
13 for Hideyaki. And
5.
17 for Overnose.
Okay. So the worst of the two was okay. Doesn't matter. We're good. Okay. So DC 18.
No.
Goodness gracious.
For level 1?
Damn.
We're babies.
What is this?
You did say that this was going to be a problem, child.
I didn't even critically succeed,
Correct.
which is ridiculous.
Starting off hot. Let's go.
Well, it's been nice knowing all of you.
That's fine. Ark will jump away.
Oh.
That's good. I'll die.
Ark will
And
just
so
hop away.
the tail...
Hey everyone, guess I'll die.
The only thing I want to double check, and maybe Waffles, you can rules me real quick. Critical failures.
Sure.
So we're dealing with disease here. Does that move you down the track more so than just stage 1, or how does that work?
Let me double check, but I am 95% sure it does.
Yes, let's find out how screwed Tal is.
Yeah, diseases are so crappy.
It's important.
I love you. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I could have kept the 12 and it would have just been a normal failure, but no.
I had to goad you into it. Blame me.
That's fair.
I'm a glutton for chance.
Okay, here's the, I don't want to spoil anything, but I kind of have to let you know the rules. So for diseases, there's an onset period as well.
Correct.
Nothing takes effect until that onset period. Like, you don't even go to stage 1 until that onset period goes away.
Okay.
If you can critically fail, and you do go to the second stage immediately.
Oh,
Understood.
good.
Okay, but nonetheless, it will take a minute for this all to affect you. Now remember, we're 6 seconds of combat. So you're okay right now.
10 rounds.
You feel nothing. You're okay.
Yeah, so I mean, all of you immediately try to take a cloth or whatever and try to keep it out. Ark, you just kind of stop breathing for a second. It's not instinctual for you. It's not hard for you because you just stop and try to clear that air. Meanwhile, though, on the other end of things, Tal, you in the shock of what is going on, you're like, oh no, and you go to try to block your breathing, and instead you like cough and like bring in a deeper breath, trying to stop yourself from breathing at the wrong timing.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and now we will enter initiative properly, which starts with Hideaki.
Okay, so like
grunting in the
seeing this drop down, and I keep. This is not something that Hideaki would say, but in my head, I just keep saying the word "Micah looking ass" because I'm ridiculous. And so I'm gonna look at this Micah looking ass, and that was rude. So allow me to return in kind, and I'm going to use.
Was that in common or in undercommon?
Oh, that was definitely an undercommon for sure.
Okay.
And we'll use act together, and I'm going to sort of stride to the left and kind of back for a sec, away from the area. Yeah, like right about there. And I will have and I'll have Overnosa move in and strike.
Beautiful. Go ahead and roll to attack.
I will. Let's see. Cool, just making sure I got all my stuff right. It's a natural 9. Oh, where did he? I just had it up. What the hell? I believe that's a 15 to hit, but let me just verify really quickly. I just had it up too. There we go. I lost statistics.
Waffles' brain is like,
yes.
If the DC is an 18, I don't know if a 15 is gonna hit.
Probably not. One way to find out.
You said so. What? Yes, 15 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So Overnosa, and it's as you all watch this, by the way, this is the most in sync. Tall. You've seen some circus acts of people trying to do things in tandem. No one is as beautifully coordinated as this moment of Hideaki, eyes again glowing this symbol, almost weirdly in front of the iris, and that mirrored in Overnosa as one steps to the side and back, and Overnosa steps forward with the slash. It's like a beautiful dance.
I would enjoy it so much more if I wasn't coughing.
Hacking up blood.
Yeah.
That's fair.
My eyes weren't blurry from the tears.
However, as Overnosa goes to strike, this little creature goes, no, and just ducks out of the way. That is one action, technically, because you did it in tandem.
I sure did. So I would like to follow up with that. By seeing that it did not sort of work. Let me follow up with, and you see Hideaki kind of raise his hands, and the actual octagram begins to glow with this electrical energy, and I'll cast Electric Arc using 2 actions to do that, and I need a reflex save.
Yes, and I can get that to you. That's a nat 20 for a total of 27. I'm not making this a screenshot.
Okay, this is fine. So let's see. Arc of lightning from one target to another. So I assume it doesn't do anything because it doesn't have if you succeed or whatever.
Yep. There's a thing called. Sorry, you want to do it?
Yeah, so it's a basic reflex saving throw, and basic means that it does have a track. So if somebody succeeds, critically succeeds, fails, or critically fails. So it should say on the spell. What?
It won't, because basic's the same for everything. So basic just means there's damage going. A critical success is 0. A success is half. A failure is full, and a critical failure is double. Always on basic saving throws.
Okay, perfect. So then, 0 damage, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, cool.
That's sorry. That seems very totally disappointing.
It's okay. It's a life lesson for Hideaki.
Yeah. Well, we're and magic is being thrown around, which is very fun.
It's the first ever real combat too. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bringing
All
the
right.
noise. Trying to.
I
anyway.
believe that's all 3 actions. So Arafe.
All right, so the first thing Arafe would like to do is try and recall knowledge about this, and since it seems to be attacking us with a spore, I would like to do it with survival to see if I have any knowledge of, these things being something to avoid so that you don't die.
Sure. So I'm actually gonna say
That's right.
for this creature, it is going to be a nature recall knowledge.
That's what I figured. My survival is just better, so I was gonna try. 17.
Okay. Unfortunately, that actually let me double check. Cause
Level 1.
I know. I do not. No, I don't see anything different about this creature. So actually, yes, I might. Hold on. If Nethys, please. Okay, no, it doesn't change the DC. So nope. Unfortunately, you have not encountered this kind of creature before. Though, just with the 17 in terms of what you were looking for with the spore and things like that. I mean, it's aggressive, and it can't be good. And although you did inhale some of it, you're not feeling any effects currently. You know that doesn't necessarily mean anything, and it could take a little bit. So, yeah, you're aware.
All right.
of
Realizing that this could be a danger and that we need to end this as quickly as possible, I'm going to use my 2-action harm ability, so I'm gonna back up a hot step, trying to get outside that cloud. But then
it is an action to move.
Oh, that's right. It is. Ha! See, D&D brain. Aha! D&D brain. Don't do D&D brain.
So what I do, just like shout out Pathfinder. I love how that flows. So it's like you're like, okay, I can stand my ground, and I can use this time that I have to build up this magic and blast it, or I can
get out.
Back up. Yeah.
So I will instead hold my ground, and I'm going to cast harm from a distance. So I a DC 17 Fortitude save.
Perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and do a Fortitude save. Okay. I'm just like cross-referencing like what is, because again, Roll20 give me like all of these stats, and I'm like, is this legit? Yep, this is legit. That is a 28.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna get high in my face right now.
So the thing is, Waffles knows
so
not
nothing?
just Pathfinder combat, he knows how deadly APs are.
Good.
Well,
I'm here for it, baby. Let's go.
that's what I got. So
Describe to me what like shoots out of your hands as you kind of focus.
So as she goes to do this, usually the spells you have seen her do so far have had a light corresponding to it, and it usually flows from like her skin. For this one, you actually see this like darkness kind of come out of her eyes, go down her hand, and shoot out. And
Similar to like, there's a very akiness to some of the curse that you saw yesterday, which is no longer there today. But it travels like through her veins down. Okay. And that's all your 3 actions?
That's all I got.
Okay. All right. So it is our little friend Umbo's turn. His name is Umbo. You guys don't know that, but his name is Umbo.
Umbo?
We still don't like him.
Yeah, but it's a really cute name.
It's a really cute name.
Umbo's still a jerk.
If only he wasn't trying to kill us.
Umbo is nasty. That's all I can say. Like his
The 28 Fortitude save didn't quite get it for me.
Yeah. I'm not feeling the power, you know what I mean?
So what it's going to do, because it sees this dragon in front of it, it's just gonna be like, eat, and it's going to just go and punch Sorry, I scare my dog. It might not have been related, but that was
Punch!
The heck, Mom?
Yo.
that is going to be a 14 to hit over Noza.
I do not think that does it. I do not have his stats back up here. AC. Actually, I think it is a 14. Yeah, I think that actually might hit. Shame. Shame that.
Unlucky.
So, sorry, what is your AC though exactly? Just so
It's 14. It's 14.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I heard 15. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I thought it was 15.
Dan, and it just like it's not like a tactician fighter here. It just goes and wallops him, kind of like smack in the chest for 7 damage.
Okay, that hurts a lot.
Big oof.
As
For real.
as all of you watching, as this little creature hits the dragon, Hideaki kind of like as well. And you see this another moment of like shared yeah. Okay. That's one action.
Shared reality.
Shared pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to attack again with another fist. Now remember, the way it works when it comes to another attack and another attack is there is penalties as you can use all 3 actions, like boom, 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 but as you follow up, it's a little bit weaker. So this is at a -5 for a second attack. And as he does, that's a nat 1.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, so
Thank God.
he kind of
Who's dude?
goes up and he's trying to like, oh, that one worked so well, and he's gonna go up with his other hand, and it just like trips on himself a little bit and misses entirely, like glancing off of his scales as Overnosa, like expecting it, just moves away from where he was.
Ducks under. Yep.
What? And he kind of glances around. Human. And he's going to take a step this way, closing the distance towards Arafe.
No.
I reject that
I
reality.
refuse. I reject. No. Go away.
Okay, never mind.
Go away.
Wait, that's all it takes? All right.
If you felt
I mean-
strongly.
Has anyone been like, hey, Umbo, please don't hit me?
Right, exactly.
And that's
lost
all-
that privilege when they spored all over us.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Nobody asked for that, so.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted this, Umbo.
Yeah.
For real.
Tal, it is your turn. Oh, and by the way, not everybody here has attacks of opportunity. Unlike D&D, you have only certain feats and things like that do that. But for the purpose of flavor and reminding everybody of the rules, he took a 5-foot step instead of a stride. Normally walking anything more than 5 feet is a stride. He took a 5-foot step, which does not usually incur attacks of opportunity.
Yep, I think he's still within my threat range, so I didn't ask.
Okay, so just to clarify, from my crit failure earlier, I'm not currently in a like a debilitating place, yeah?
Sorry, you're just a little bit quiet.
What?
Hello.
Sorry.
I think I turned on my microphone.
Oh, there it is.
From here I am. From my crit failure earlier, I'm not in like a debilitating place yet.
Correct.
Sweet.
No, it hasn't taken effect yet. You just know you coughed and breathed in a lot of spores, but you are not currently feeling an effect.
Okay.
You have the virus in your body, but you haven't done it. Nothing's happened yet.
Okay. All right. Good. Great.
I've learned if you say no, it works.
It seems so.
No. Okay. I'm going to. I am going to grab the staff. I like to imagine that it's not like a quarter staff. It's like kind of like a
cane-ish size?
Yeah, kind of. Like maybe more like a yardstick size, maybe a little bit bigger than that. But hefty. And Tal will pull that off their back because kind of like still coughing and like wiping like their eyes, like, you know, when you cough really hard and your eyes get super watery. It's kind of like wiping that away. And they're gonna come forward. They're gonna use one of their actions to move. And then essentially what they want to do is they saw that it was kind of tracking towards Airface, so what they want to do is take the staff and like smack it. I want to attack it, but hit it like in a where are you, ruler? Hello, ruler. Hello, where are you? Hello.
It is the little circle with the ruler line through it.
Okay, it's still there. Okay, this. Nope, that's not. It helps if I click this way. I want to hit it that way.
Okay, yeah, just like
that way.
Sure. Like so, it would be an action to interact action to draw your staff, action to move forward, and then you're just going to make a strike.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
Yeah. I don't think that did it.
6.
That's a 6. I don't think that did it.
Like,
I have none.
Oh,
I have 0.
You have one. You have one. It's
you
okay.
have one now. Which, to be fair, you may want to hoard at the same time. True.
Kind of will right now do that. I will hold it. I like to. Here's how I imagine.
Get the fuck out.
Here's how I imagine this went. I go to pull it, and I go at like mid-strike. Just another like big cough happens, and I like fall forward just a tiny bit, and it just goes nowhere. It goes nowhere. It like bops it on top of its little like.
A couple more spores shake loose.
Yeah. Yep.
No, I'm kidding. They don't. Mechanically, they do not. So okay, perfect. So is that all of your actions?
That is all 3 of my actions.
Perfect. Arc 2, it is your turn, and Hideaki, you are on deck.
Oh, I'm ready as fuck. Let's go.
Yeah. Ark is going to, like, kind of seeing all this go down in slow motion in, like, the last 6 seconds. Sees Tao coughing a little and everyone else looking a little rough. Is gonna call out, "Whoever can stay, we need to take this thing down fast. But if you can't, please step back." And he's gonna begin to move, and he's gonna move and draw basically this just really long, like 3.5-foot stick off his back. So that's 2 actions, and then I'm gonna use my 3rd action to cast my focus spell.
Ooh. Reminder for focus spells, they use focus points. This is my announcer voice. They use focus points, which you can focus. It takes 10 minutes when you're not obviously in combat, and you can get those back. So fun stuff. Okay, yes. What's that?
They allow you to be a little better than like using spell slots and being out of them for the whole day, kind of thing.
Yeah, somewhere between a cantrip and a spell.
As an aside, I just realized I have innate spells, one of which is stabilized, which is going to be utterly useless, but I am the one who is doing the dying.
Damn it, too, don't worry.
You know, that is valid.
I just think it's really funny.
But my focus spell is called Shielding Strike, so basically I'm going to whack this guy with a stick, flanking with Obernoza, and I'm also going to raise my book up and get ready to block. Raise my shield, as they say.
Yeah, and you all watch as kind of like you've seen this book kind of tucked away on Ark's hip, or is it like a holster? Is it like tucked on your belt, kind of a deal?
I imagine he has kind of this like I don't really know the word for it, but it's like a cross strap where the pouch would sit like on his ribs.
Yeah. So a holster of a kind.
Kinda. Yeah.
And so he just like, as he strikes with one in smooth motion, pulls out the book, and he's holding it like you would to read a book, except defensively. You're not having seen it before. You might be a little curious.
He's like, you see him with like one thumb like flipping through pages as well, like he's trying to read it. But mechanically my AC goes up 2, so I'm happy.
Awesome. All right, so go ahead and roll to hit, and you are flanking, so his AC is at a -2.
Yeah.
Bring it.
11.
Y'all, no.
We're gonna die.
I got a lot of hero points, so I'm gonna go ahead and use one.
Okay, all right, okay. Show it off. Let's go. It's gonna be that one. I'm calling it.
I blame
my
you.
God.
Sir, what happened to you? You were so nice.
Syrup met us all in person is like, we need to not play anymore. I'm sorry, I gotta have to play again.
That's it.
I'm drunk
it.
with power.
Sorry, you're the only one who's gonna survive now. You realize this, right? This was a blessing.
So the nat 1, I think you watch him like, he kind of like loses a little bit of his, maybe some of the spores are still in the air, and he like loses focus on this guy a little bit, and he loses a little bit of his fluid motion, and instead he kind of slams down into the ground, and you see this small like spark of electricity hit the ground, but he completely misses this creature.
Oh, very cool. All right, Hideaki. That's all 3, right? for
That's
you?
all I can do.
All right, Hideaki, what's up?
Oh, what's up? So, hearing Ark's words, you all hear in unison as Hideaki and Overnosis say at the same time, "We are not going anywhere." And he clasps his hands, and you see the what is traditionally the aura of copper that surrounds them turn a blood red as I'm going to use a cantrip to cast Boost Eidolon. And I'm going to use, and yeah,
As that
that's what's
well-timed
happening there.
grunt in the music.
As is tradition. So I am going to go ahead and to strike now, because that sounds fun. And so just so the folks at home know, I focus deeply on the link between myself and my Eidolon and boost the power of my Eidolon's attacks. It gains a +2 status bonus to damage rolls with unarmed attacks. If your Eidolon strikes deal more than 1 weapon damage die, the status bonus increases to 2 per weapon damage die. So, well, first we got to hit something. So let's see what happens. All right.
This is a +2 to damage, not to attack.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. But I feel pretty good because that was a natural 19, which would bring it to a 25 to hit.
Amazing.
So how bad would you be if I said that didn't? No, I'm kidding. Of course it hits. Yes.
I would.
If you said that, I'd be like, run away!
Yep.
I would
Stand up at the table. I'm out.
Yeah. It's like the scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, like with the rabbit. Run away!
Yes.
Run away!
Run away!
So
It's just a rabbit.
It's
That's a valid question.
Okay, so the first thing she's going to do is she's going to let out this, like, strangely minor key melody, and she's going to cast Haunting Hymn. So I need him to make another Fortitude saving throw, DC 17. If you say 28 again, I swear I'm just gonna flip my L-shaped desk and we're...
I love that you specifically said that your desk was L-shaped.
It is!
This time she'll be like, at 20, 30.
Yeah, right. See, it wasn't a 28. Neither.
No. Not a 28 this time. A 25.
Jesus Christ.
Goodness.
Jesus. I think that's still a flip.
What's your save?
I'm
though?
sorry, this is a level 1 encounter, right? Alright, anyway. So seeing that doesn't work, she is now going to become concerned. And I am going to use my last action to cast Shield.
That's
really
probably
quick.
smart.
What was your save? Like
17.
your DC? 17.
Just a normal success, so if it does damage, it's gonna do half damage
Oh.
still.
Oh, it does damage anyway?
Yeah,
So half
success
damaging
is
the
half
spell?
damage.
Oh, then it does 2 points of force damage. Hey, it's something. That makes me feel a little bit better. I'm so used to D&D where it's like they
you're
say,
on
but
the
nothing
board.
happens. F you.
Yep.
Cantrips, nothing
Cantrips,
happens.
bro.
It's another thing
Okay.
I love about Pathfinder is like
Yep,
the whole
so-
basic save things. So.
And if he would have critically succeeded, then it would have been
That's
no
0,
damage.
yeah.
Been 0.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so 2 damage. Cool.
Thank you for the catch, Waffles.
Yes, thank you. It's really hard to break the D&D brain.
It is.
But yeah, for that last one, she's going to cast shield.
All right.
To put +1 to my AC, and that will be it.
Okay. In that case, it is Umbo's turn. Oh, sweet, angry little Umbo. So having been like just absolutely walloped by Overnosa, it kind of turns. That hurt. I don't like it. And it is going to 2 actions. Now, remind me, you and Overnosa are affected by, you failed your fortitude on the spores, correct?
Yeah, definitely both of us for sure.
Okay. So as you are affected by purple pox, is what it's called. Don't look it up.
Purple pox.
I won't look it up.
Don't look it up. As you are affected, it looks at Overnosa, and its eyes flash a brighter, angry yellow, and go ahead and have Overnosa roll me a will saving throw.
Okay. Okie dokie dokie. Whatever it is, I feel like I'm not gonna like it. Natural 20. Get fucked.
Oh, holy crap. That was a good time for that.
That was clutch. It really was, because I'm terrified.
Yeah. But it's got very great success. The target
It really did.
Yeah, the target is unaffected.
Sorry.
Perfect. The spore domination fails. Whatever that means.
When you said will save, I felt I was gonna lose my dragon.
I'm very scared.
Maria's just slowly shrinking down. I'm sorry. Frustrated at this, it is going to, while having originally gone towards Airfey, seeing the shield up there and just being really angry that didn't work, it's going to turn around and it's going to smack over Noza again, or try to, as it's going to go ahead and punch.
Certainly try.
For a 27 to hit.
Miss.
A casual drink afterwards. No. No.
Big miss.
Now tell me, is this a critical success? Is this 10 over your AC?
So 20. You said 27, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because Overnosa has 14.
Oof, indeed. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's. What have you? No one's hit him with anything. His Overnosa's attacks. Because I want to be honest here, and I think I messed up. What kind of damage is that?
That's a great question.
Is it like bludgeoning?
It's probably slashing.
I assume it's slashing.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident that's the case.
Okay. You do notice a slight retro, and I apologize, but I want to be honest about this. You do notice that those attacks that like tore through his kind of like weird like fleshy mushroomy body tore deeper gashes than you expected, and I will adjust accordingly.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Nice. Level 1
Good,
monster
good,
in
good.
DR. Woo.
Wait, the way you described that made me think that it did more damage, not less.
More damage,
my
correct.
bad. I heard
Yeah,
that
okay.
completely wrong.
Yeah.
My fault.
Go. So, the other way, whatever, not DR, the other thing,
vulnerability,
more damage.
weakness.
Weakness
Indeed,
is what they're
more
calling
damage.
it. And
yeah.
just to review how weakness works and to also make sure that I'm getting it correct, what that does is you have a certain value to that weakness, like weakness 1, weakness 2, whatever. And then every time you take that kind of damage, it is additionally the amount that you're weak to.
Yep.
So let's say someone's
Sure.
weak 2 to slashing, you do 5 points of damage, you do an additional 2.
Yep.
Got it.
And
Got it.
the weird beauty of that is if you do 1 point of damage, you still do an additional 2. Like
Correct.
Oh.
Correct. It doesn't matter. It is, yeah, 100%. Perfect. Thank you. So that's for my sake. I apologize. But
It's okay. You're gonna kill my dragon anyway. So yeah.
oh yeah. Right. There's a critical hit there. So
Yeah, let's resolve that.
I'm gonna go look up Death and Dying. Hold on.
oh god, this is not what I
BRB.
want. So critical damage for his bludgeoning strike is 18.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's more than the hit points I had. So yeah.
Okay.
But
So
I don't
do
know
you-
what happens when Eidolons go down. So I'm gonna find out.
Well, you share HP. So really, Hideaki goes down.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Yeah, that's the
Okay,
whole thing. You guys both take
Alright,
it.
cool.
You don't double take it, but you share that
Cool.
hit point
You
pool.
share one pool.
Correct.
Got it. Cool. So
So
yeah,
what happens?
describe it for me.
Hideaki goes down, and Overnoza disappears.
Perfect.
For the rule's sake,
Please.
uh,
We don't fuck around with death and dying.
yeah, Death and Dying. So basically, just a reminder: Death and Dying is a condition. When you drop to dying, you are dying 1, 2, 3. When you hit dying 4, you're dead, unless you have a feat that
Got it.
lets you die at dying 5. If you fall to it critical, you are immediately dying 2.
So, considering you've just... Yes, please.
There too.
How we feel.
Uh,
I'm just checking in on him.
Yes.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
Big
good.
thumbs up.
Okay.
And then
Concerned, but fine.
Yes.
everyone's concerned for sure. And then when you get
I am unconscious.
yes, you are unconscious. You are dying
Concerned
2.
and unconscious.
And then if you happen to get raised right now in the midst of battle, you'll be wounded 2.
Got
Yeah,
it.
we will handle that as we go, just because it's a lot to juggle. But you went down to a critical hit, so you're currently on the track as dying 2.
Makes sense.
Yep, you're okay,
Okay.
still. You're not. Yeah, like you still have 2 down to move. It's not. Yeah,
Got it.
but you do watch as Overnoza just like in a flash of like kind of copper light disappears. And Hideaki crumbles. I will. Let's see. That was 2 actions. 1. Yep. Okay. That is the end of Imbo's turn.
Fantastic.
Tal, it is
Amazing.
your turn, and Ark, you're on
Fantastic.
deck.
Excellent. Great.
Feel free to react, and don't forget anybody can like talk out of turn as well.
Yeah, I think when Hideaki
So-
goes.
From the great beyond.
Sorry, you go ahead, Tal. It's your turn.
No, why don't you go? You, from like this perspective, Ark would have seen this happen first. So if
No
you have
doubt.
something to respond to, you go for it.
Sure.
Because I have something that I'm going to be literally doing too.
For
so.
sure. Ark would just kind of point a little bit, kind of with the stick that he's holding that he wants to bash this thing with, and say, "It's a battle. I think he's okay. If anyone else can help him, I'm better here."
I think there's a slow motion turn for Tal, because Tal was like focused on trying to keep this thing away from other people, to where Hideaki is just on the ground, and Ornoza is nowhere to be seen, and the audience would see that her eyes get wide and her ears, like, they don't go back, they just like drop instantly. And without really like thinking about it, she just kind of like reaches out a hand. Nim also just kind of like scampers over to Hideaki, and just kind of like it would be like a yell or a very like guttural scream, but it sounds like the breaking of a glacier. as I use my innate spell to stabilize Hideaki.
Yeah, let's go.
Is stabilized
fucking
touch 30 feet? What is
30
what is
feet.
it? Okay, beautiful.
30 feet with the target of one dying creature.
Yes.
Hi, that's
Okay.
me.
Thank you. But I think how this like translates, because it's a spell that was given by like the school, but I think it's different. It's changed. So like
It is
Nim,
now.
I think whatever part of you is like on, is not on the ground. So like your chest, your back, your side, or whatever. Nim like lays in a little circle and like kind of glows slightly, and that spot like kind of transfers into you and like makes it glow a little bit. But then Tal turns towards this thing, because that was one action. No, it was two actions. I lied. It was two actions.
I'm gonna typically like you give an action to have your familiar have two actions. But
technically,
this is
my
all
familiar.
flavor. I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah,
about
it
that.
wasn't. It wasn't. Yeah, it was. The familiar's literally doing nothing except being there.
No, I'm clarifying for any viewers that might chime in. Like, this is not that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you do see, though, like, kind of, probably only from your angle, Tal, you do see that that glyph of the hourglass, the running hourglass from when you had chosen that symbol, does just kind of, like, shine, like, almost, like, between where, like, a Nim is laying on Hideaki's body.
But Tal turns back to this creature and like ears straight back now, and looks for the very first time angry. And if I had more spell slots, I would do something else. But is going to just with the full fury, like with an actual like guttural yell, two hands, just like no, it's not gonna use. It's not gonna use the staff. It's just gonna go straight in with like claws to try to like rip this thing in half. Honestly.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Let's
Do
go.
your thing.
Roll that beautiful hit. That is a
There's only a 13 though.
13 to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
You are not flanking, so unfortunately, Umbo kind of like sees this angry feral catfolk coming at him, and he like tries to just back off, like, and to add insult to injury, just starts like cackling a little bit.
Good. Great.
The big bad
And-
was
and
this
then-
guy the whole time.
It was
To
this
no-
one the whole time.
To nobody who understands currently, stabilized does bring you to consciousness,
So,
right?
It does not.
No,
It
No.
is unconscious. Yeah, it is.
I'm unconscious but
lose-
stable. At
Yeah,
zero.
you lose. I can actually. I'll just. Whoop. You lose a dying condition, but you remain unconscious at 0 hit points.
Okay,
Yep.
because you lose your dying condition, just remember, Hideaki, you are now, this is what Waffles was beginning to say, the value of your death becomes wounded. So you were dying 2, you're stable now, so you're wounded 2. If you were to go down again, it picks up from that value. You haven't, like, healed.
Y'all, death is no joke. Oh no.
Okay.
So you are unconscious, but Umbo mutters in Undercommon, snack for later.
All we hear is parcel tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. More like very like guttural, like consonant sounds. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No. Is that it for you, Tom?
That
Yes,
is all
2-1,
three
yes.
of my. Yep, all 3 of my things.
Arc.
Alright, so Ark having cast a focus spell of Shield Strike, you guys see him enter this like odd, almost like a very stalwarty stance that you haven't really seen him in. Like up until now he's been moving kind of a fluid motion, and having cast that spell you see him kind of stiffen up, and every movement seems like it's made with a purpose. So first action, he's going to move to flank with Tal, seeing Tal like strike out and miss a little bit. And then I don't have much I can do because I prepared jump today. So second and third action, he's gonna strike at this thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
First attack is a 19.
Get him.
Okay. Yes, a 19 hits.
I don't do a crap
Good.
ton of damage because all my damage is in spells, so don't laugh at me.
I
all
hit
good.
for 2 before.
I do 4 total bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And the +1 is from the thing.
So I cast a spell. When Maguses cast spells, they enter this thing called Arcane Cascade. In the rule book, it's termed as like stances for different spells, so that's how I'm kind of flavoring it. And due to him casting Focus, he's in Arcane Cascade from basically like shielding with this book.
Gotcha. I just think that sounds really cool. Arcane Cascade.
It's basically like Magus enter a stance and do extra damage because their like weapons hold the extra magical energy from the spell.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, that's one action. Bring it. Oh no, 2. Sorry, because you.
I didn't hit my second thing, so hold on.
So it's
it should be. I'm trying to see how much I have a minus. I have a -5, so it would be a 18 total.
Be an 18 total. Are you taking into account flanking already?
Yeah.
Okay, so an 18 just hits.
All right. Well, I do 2 damage.
Yay!
So basically, you see in this stance, like after casting this focus spell, you watch Ark like he's swinging around very shortly with his staff and just kind of lightly bopping it, but then he's following the staff with the book and then kind of slapping the thing with the book as well. It's just
And
like
you
pop, pop.
pop, and it's just like the quick moments, and it's as you guys are watching this, like there is confidence in Ark, right? I guess I should ask, like there is trained.
Yeah, it looks like he's done this for 20 years, even though he said he's been around for 5 to RFA. So
Right.
I forgot about that. You told me you were fine.
Arcus baby.
Arcus baby.
Trained killer baby.
Assassin baby.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt right there. Trained killer baby, and it's just a
picture of Ark.
So
Found a new tag for Ark.
you're doing all of this in quick succession, and I do want you to notice as well, you see the slashes that are on its body from the hits that Overnosa had done to it, and what you're doing, like, it's hitting and it's attacking, but you can clearly see those slashes did more. So it's just kind of in character, you can maybe put together that it's vulnerable or weak to slashing.
yeah, yep. Ark inner monologue is, too bad I have no blades whatsoever.
Hideaki, it is technically your turn. Is there... Yes?
Sorry. He would fall behind the creature that downed him.
He would. Thank you. Really, really interesting thing in Pathfinder2e. Before, right? Like...
Yeah, right
okay.
before.
When you go down to a creature, you move in initiative to above that creature to ensure that there's never that doubling down before it comes to your turn again. So
it's so that it does, like, if you are right after this creature, it doesn't down you, and then you have to roll a death save without your team having to being able to do anything.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
yeah.
To respond?
Yep.
Sure, that's awesome.
Yep. So instead of that, Airfey, it is your turn.
So I just have a quick question. On these,
Sure.
they say material. How do you know what the material is that you need for a spell? It just says material.
Yeah, so as part of
Material.
your spellcasting components, you would have like your component pouch. It would be probably considered in your equipment. So it doesn't specify anything in particular. It's nothing you have.
Flavor it as you will, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Second question for the group. Has anyone else been hit besides Hideaki?
No, but I feel like my fate is coming soon. Just a strange aura I have.
He's
There's
heating
this
up.
looming feeling behind me. Is there something watching me?
Yeah. And I always feel like somebody's
Watching me.
Well, it's just wanted to make sure I'm using appropriate number of actions. So if no one else has been hit, Arafe is going to move around.
Okay, that's fine. It does not take an attack opportunity.
Yeah, and then I'm going to use my 2 actions to cast heal on Hideaki. So unlike before, where you saw this dark energy go through her, you again see that white moonlight type wrap around her. She puts her hand out, says helium, and I will heal Hideaki for 8.
Yo! I'll take it. Thank you very much.
You said you used 2 actions, right?
Yeah, so it's the 30-foot reach.
Okay, I'm
Yes,
pretty sure it's a D8 plus 8.
Yes.
Oh, mine says restore 1d8 hit points.
Hold on.
Increase the support. Oh, I see. Increase the points restored by 8. Yes, so 16 instead.
Hell yeah.
Let's go!
Waffles, thank you for
Let's
keeping
go.
me honest and
No
teaching us how
problem
to
at
play.
I've played a life
So
oracle
different.
before, so.
Okay, so 16 instead.
Gorgeous. I will take that terrible red X off of this beautiful
Oh my God.
token drawn
That
by
was-
Nox Batty.
That was so sad. I've never seen it done to a character of mine before, and I was like, oh no.
Sorry.
Now, I can't do that again, so don't fall down anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't fall down.
I will let you know that I know it's not my turn, but I want you guys to know that I am positively shaking with excitement. So thank you.
Amazing.
Perfect. Funny you should say it's not your turn because it's your turn.
Is it really? Oh.
Yep.
So how does it take an action to stand up?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to.
So
from the ground.
Yep. Like 360 no scope. So
Yeah.
no. So he kind of like grimaces and and you all kind of hear I'm so cold. I know how to fix that. And I kind of roll over to my side and just raise a hand.
Off. Off of
Like, oh god. And I was gonna say thanks for the help and raise my hand, and I'm gonna manifest Overnosa using all 3 of my actions as my eyes again begin to turn into that octagram and the copper glow appears, and I'm gonna put him right back right in front of my my friend here.
Did take. Wait, in front of where? I'm sorry.
I'm putting him right essentially right in front of actually, I forgot. I have access. I can do this myself. Boom. There. And when I manifest my Eidolon, it can take a single action, which it will take to strike.
Okay. Amazing.
You guys aren't going to believe me.
Natural
Nat
20?
one.
Nope, it's a natural fucking 20.
Yeah.
Good, one of us has to do some serious damage.
So, I have a
I'm
question.
gonna cry. Yes.
How cruel can I be right now? Because I have a lot of hero points.
I
You know what? No.
would say,
I'm just gonna dangle
No,
that
I would
power
say-
over here, but I'm just gonna.
hey, you get to do what you think is best from a storytelling perspective.
I
Do
won't
yours.
apply it to you.
Okay.
That depends if you want to open up that rule like our players did on Journey's Drift.
I
If you
know.
can make other people re-roll, which gets sketchy in my opinion.
Yeah.
It does
Yeah, I
get
can get-
sketchy. I just also
Yeah.
know that, as a GM, I don't know that I would ever re-roll my own creature because I would just feel so bad. But
You have
That's
to.
totally fair.
all right, fine. But okay, natural 20. Yes. What's the damage? Gimme.
Not awesome. So I think it's a D6 plus 1, which is 3 points of slashing damage.
Dope.
And is that doubled?
Oh, it's not.
Double
So
dice.
for 5, Yep, 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Clever roll 2.
Now, you manifested over Noza on the other side of Arafe. So, at this point, little Umbo, which, what did he really do to deserve?
He infected us all with a disease.
Okay, fair, but, life. Okay, I don't have anything here, so I'm just gonna stop.
Amazing.
But he is completely surrounded from all four sides right now, north, east, southwest, by an angry group of students. Is not looking too good for him, and he's looking battered, honestly. Oh! That was slashing damage, wasn't it?
It sure was.
Twas.
It sure was.
Twas.
Okay, how much? What would that be? Because I've reduced it already. So just how much?
He did 5.
So that would be 10. Or
wait, why
10.
twice? Just because this weakness doubled for?
No,
crit?
he did 5, and then you add whatever the
I did
weakness
5.
value is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I thought you said like twice. Sorry.
No.
I'm gonna do the math correctly because that's what calculators are for. Okay. All right. Yes. Then he's not looking great. And he doesn't like that the one that he thought he had successfully got down is now the dragon, the copper dragon that was disappeared is now cornering him. He's like, oh god. As it is Umbo's turn. And what he's going to do is look around.
He's gonna die. He's just gonna fall down.
Mine. Fine. And he's gonna fucking run. So, do any of you have attacks of opportunity? No, right? Technically, no one has that feat.
I think at this level it's fighters and paladins, or champions, I should say.
And he runs into the forest and uses all 3 actions to run and run and run. So, technically, Tal. Wait, where was I? Yeah, Tal. It's your turn. Yeah, you tell me.
How far away is it?
So he runs off into the trees, and starts getting harder and harder to find. He is a little green mushy thing in a jungle. So, he also uses all 3 actions to run. So just to put that mechanically a little bit, let's say he has 20 feet of movement.
That'd be 60
times 3. That's how far away he is.
Okay.
So 60 feet?
Just about,
yes.
yeah.
Just about.
Okay. If we're going by the hypothetical 20 feet.
Yeah, no, it is 27.
Hypothetically.
I'll drop the hypothetical there. So I will say he's getting hard to see, and he definitely has cover right now through the density of the forest, or of the jungle. But he is 60 feet away. From here, so 65.
Okay. Okay.
And as a reminder, a lot of you did get hit by spores and are waiting for this.
Yep.
What was Cal?
Yeah.
That's
So
exactly what I'm gonna do.
I have a question. I know you were saying it was basically 60. Okay, hang on. So if I move, I'm looking at.
That might be my favorite
No, I
thing
keep
that you
forgetting
do
that
is
my-
just talk and they go,
I
love it.
It's the talking. Yeah. I keep forgetting that my speed is 25 feet and not 30 feet, because that is a frustration. Okay.
You can get that up eventually.
That's what she said. Bam.
Got him.
Okay.
Got him. I'm a 5-year-old.
So am I for enjoying it so much.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh man.
So
Duval's
okay.
ready.
I'm. Oh my god, I'm ready. Yeah.
I think what Tal is gonna do is, Tal is gonna move their full movement.
Okay.
And that's 25 feet. And even though I know logically it's 35 feet away, my spell only reaches 30 feet away, but she still wants to do it because, like you said, it's hard to see, it's hard to gauge distance, so she thinks it's still within range.
Okay.
Plus, I want this to be a thing.
I'm going to flavorfully move y'all on the map so I can easier be just. Don't worry about where I moved you. Is basically
Okay.
what it is.
Okay.
I think as she moves past Ark, I think Ark would be the well, I guess technically, no, Ark would be the one to see it. Maybe, no, it would be Ark, because she would start casting it as like she moved past that point. You would see that her eyes from like the inner parts of it moving outwards is like this like black smokiness that it's not quite smoke. It kind of looks like tendrils almost that kind of cover her eyes. Oh. So like technically she moves like 25-ish. Ish. And as she gets as far as she can get, she's going to she says a word, and it's just one word, but it sounds like the worst. It's like if you put your hand in like opaque water and you feel something slimy at the bottom. That's what that word feels like. As she doesn't
Beautiful.
she doesn't I guess she technically like pulls up from the ground like this with her claws, and you can see shooting from her in a 30-foot line these tendrils of like dark, almost like ichor, just kind of like pull from the ground and just chase forward. Anything living within that radius takes damage.
Okay. So here's what's one. First of all, take a freaking hero point for that amazing description.
Technically, I lied. Tendrils of darkness curl from my fingertips and race through the air, and I think that they're like spinning and then like weaving into the ground and everything like that.
Yeah. I mean, even if you kind of like reach down low. So what this is going to do is through the vegetation, because he's in the jungle, this line of wilting plants and bushes and whatever, just the entire 30-foot straight line towards this retreating like creature you still don't know what it is just wilted away, blackened, and like leaves fall off and to the ground, then just blow away in the wind into like ash. It does clear the line of sight to the retreating Umbo. Awesome. All right.
That's all of my actions. And I think like the ends of her fingers, like from like mid knuckle down, are still like black.
Yeah,
as her
like
eyes.
Black ombre. Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh. And y'all are. She's kind of ran in front of you or a bit, so I don't know how much y'all see currently of this. Obviously, you see the black tendrils that shoot out, but not how it's affecting them necessarily.
Yeah, I think Ark was the only one that probably saw like the start of like the eyes as they were starting to like focus the spell.
Yeah.
Alright, so Ark. It's a weird one. I don't want to prolong this combat much. but Ark has a very specific reason for doing this. So I'm gonna do it.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it and tell you my plan, just to see what you want to do with the GM. Ark begins to run by Tal, and like attempting to be quiet enough that the others can't hear, but loud enough for them and Tal to hear at the same time, would say, "I would not show others that," and keep running.
Ooh.
And Ark is going to split the
Get
distance.
in between.
Ark is going to split the distance in front of this thing,
Okay.
knowing that he's faster than it.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, I'm gonna do it, I think. Ark can move here in 50 feet,
Sure.
so that's 2 movements. And then Ark is going to attempt to trip it.
Interesting. Okay. And is that a athletics check?
Yep.
Do I roll as well?
No, it's going to be against your reflex DC. So it's your
Okay.
your reflex save plus 10.
Yep.
And when Tal, to echo what you do, you would probably see Ark's like veins begin to glow a little. And I'm gonna enact my feat, my ancestry feat, Nanite Surge. So I get a +2 on this check because it's a skill check technically.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
And basically you see his veins begin to glow, and you watch their arm like bulk up just a little. It's probably hard to see from where you are, but like you know when like watching Popeye eat spinach or something like that, like just a little, like you watch like he flexes for this attack and then goes for it.
Go for it.
If I roll under a 15, I'm probably hero pointing. So, all right,
Ooh.
23.
23. The little Umbo's reflex save is 17.
Reflex save or reflex DC?
Save. Is,
Save?
Or, no, DC.
Okay,
DC.
okay. I was like, what the?
Jeez. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, I'm saying what you're thinking.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yes, DC.
Okay. When Ark sees that they have successfully tripped this thing down on the ground, they're gonna be like, Hideaki, I have it.
All right. Before that, Arafe.
So, is the rule the same here as if it's prone? Is it prone? I should ask that first. Did it get tripped?
That's what trip attack does,
Yeah,
right?
triple knock it prone.
Okay. So do ranged attacks have disadvantage or
No.
a minus to it?
They'll have a minus
Not here?
2.
Of a -2. Okay. Well,
But
I'm not gonna get there.
I would say you do hear Ark yell this, and just to make it clear for everyone, obviously it's probably it may not be clear in character, so feel free to say that. But Ark's plan here is to continue to follow and trip this thing until Hideaki can come and kill it.
Okay. So Airfit can't get there, but she's going. She'll pull. She'll go over there, over to the side where she can get line of sight, and she will make 2 bow attacks.
Okay.
Oh,
Since she has one of those.
I forgot you had a bow.
Yeah.
too.
Also, I'm realizing that I didn't get my pluses into roll 20 correctly, so I'm going to roll these ones.
That's fine. To just to clarify, you ran up. I will ask that you draw your bow because you didn't have it out prior.
Yep. So one attack then.
One shot.
Okay. That will be an 18 to hit because it's a -2, correct? Because it's prone.
It is.
Yeah. That's already with it.
Okay.
The -2.
With the -2, it's an 18.
That just hits.
Yeah. So it's a 1d8 piercing, which will be 7. So 7 piercing damage. So she'll come up next to Tal. She'll go, "We still got this," and she'll pull out this like beautiful like ivory bow. Pull out one of her arrows and just hit from the side.
Yeah. So
You turn to Tal and say that, and Tal's just like completely black eyes. There's like you can see now that there's like it traveled past like where the eyes is, and it's just kind of like trailed out. So now there's like these black kind of vein like patterns in her fur a little bit towards like where the temples would be.
It's almost like staining like
Yeah.
your fur, like
Yeah.
ink of a kind.
And knowing Arafe, there is like no change in how she would talk to you otherwise. So it's not like she seems surprised to see this. Yeah, so just notices, but doesn't find it strange.
You walk up and you're like, I'm just gonna like 1, 2, like I'm gonna just shoot my bow like 1, 2, let's go. But you walk up and instead you plant your feet, and you take the time and you aim. That's how I'm flavoring your 1 attack,
like
not 2.
I like it.
And you look at Ark, who could be potentially giving some cover there, but you focus, see it, it's on the ground. That's not gonna bother you either. You draw it back, Arc, right? Like you hear the whistling of the arrow right by you as it lands directly into Umbo. Is this slash? No, this is piercing. Right?
Piercing.
Okay. As the light in Umbo's eyes just disappear as you take it down to 0.
I think for flavor's sake too, you see Ark, like after he trips Umbo, he's coming back up. He yells at Hideaki, sees this arrow beginning to fly, and tries to swat it out of the air, but misses clearly.
Fair enough.
Okay. This is a named creature, so I will say that if you guys want, I will say that it's at dying 1, and you know this, like you see it starting to kind of like die out. But
He's dying.
Hideaki,
He's not dead yet.
yes. Hideaki, it's your turn.
Okay. So much is happening. So, and hearing Ark's words, and I'm gonna stand up first of all. So it takes 1 action to do that, I think.
Yep.
And I'm gonna use 2 actions to act together, and we're going to stride. Overdose is going to stride forward, full movement towards the creature.
And is that 25 feet?
Yes. And I'll just say, and I'll raise a hand. I'll be there momentarily. We're not finished yet. And I'll cast Daze on it. 60 feet of distance or whatnot to get there. And I need this, considering it's dying, I assume.
It's a completely unconscious. It will not roll. So it fails.
So. Great. And I'm going to start to...
critically fails automatically, or just fails automatically? I guess it does.
This one's interesting because I'm pretty sure Dave is a will save.
It's a basic will save.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It's a basic will save.
Looking up unconscious right now. It doesn't say it affects anything with will to be unconscious, technically, but
yeah,
you're called.
It would just deal damage, and you stun 1 if it critically fails.
If it's unconscious, I don't think that it can try to will anything, like
sure.
it, like set its intent or anything. So I'm gonna say it's an automatic failure.
Okay, so it'd be 3 damage.
Okay.
It
takes damage while it's down, which is 2 down the track.
Yep.
I believe. So it's at dying 3.
Yep.
That's all 3 of my actions. And I just have like a hand up, and I'm walking that way. I'm not saying anything really.
At this point, Ark would be yelling and kind of pointing his. I think he would have his staff leveled towards RFA and say, "This is Hideaki's if he wants it."
I'm gonna go ahead and roll out in the open. The DC to stabilize is gonna be a D20. It is at dying 3, so the DC is 13. It has to roll 13 or higher, or 14 or higher.
13 or higher. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the DC is 13, yeah, it would meet it.
Yeah.
That's a natural one. I didn't roll out in the open. I'm so sorry. I thought I did.
It's fine.
That's all right.
I believe you.
We trust you.
It's a natural 1. So when you roll a natural 1 on death saves, does it move you down the track even?
It does, but it doesn't matter. It's at dying 3 anyway, so.
But does it go dying 4 or dying 5?
It would drop to dying 5, but you die at dying 4 anyway.
No, just checking that it was double.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would drop to dying 4.
So you say that you turn to Arafe as you're like, this is Hideaki's if he wants it, and you hear like a little like just convulse for a second. You see like movement, and there's no breathing anywhere. There's nothing. It is done. It is gone. And I will take you out of this music and out of initiative.
And as you're doing that, as I'm beginning to walk towards it, I'll sort of break the silence for a second. Yesterday, I thought I learned a lesson that you don't always have to win. Seems that lesson is something I still need to learn, because I was not ready to lose.
I think this is a different situation.
Yeah. And like he says, yeah, like and nods at Airfay and just kind of like sits down as the adrenaline begins to leave him.
And go ahead, Waffles. You wanted to say?
It really depends on what you're gonna say.
Okay. So there's a lot to deal with here, including how many rounds of combat have passed. As we drop initiative, it's very, very sensitive, so I want to keep that in mind. I believe, and I didn't do my tracker because that's on me, but I believe there's been at least 4 rounds.
I was gonna say 3, but I'm down with 4 as well.
I'm pretty sure this is the 4th round.
Yeah.
So
this would have finished the 4th round, essentially.
At the end of the 4th round, so you, what does that have? So very, very soon.
6 more rounds.
Yeah. Before a minute passes, wow, all of this, or not.
All this happened in 20 seconds.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez.
Anytime you look back at combat, you're like, wait, I fought and killed that dragon in 16 seconds or 18 seconds.
Yeah.
What just happened? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about how battle would go,
yeah.
strike something and it dies usually.
Imagine exerting like full 100% energy and adrenaline for more than 30 seconds. You'd be so tired. Like
That's very
you would
fair.
just fall. You would just pass out.
Yeah.
But given the fact that we are ending initiative and time is sensitive here, I will say that as you guys breathe and come to figure out what the situation is that you're dealing with, we're going to end the session tonight and pick that up next time.
Totally fine. Oh my god.
Can I just say, what an amazing first encounter. You guys did amazing.
Yeah. Incredible.
Like, yes, kudos. High five to
Hell
all
is this
of you.
Pathfinder battle type of shit?
It's so good. Listen,
Tell me it does not get the adrenaline.
So here's the thing.
Oh my god.
I typically hate combat in TTRPGs. I check out real fast.
Yeah.
the 3
It
action
was so
system.
worth the wait.
The 3 action system, how it makes it fluid, plus like the slightly heightened danger, and like, in my opinion, more like crunchy's not the right word, but crunchy feeling. Like you feel like, oh man, I'm in combat, instead of running around going fireball. Okay, I take 40 damage, but it doesn't matter. Like
This is impactful, and to have, think about it. This is you guys are level 1. And to have such a combat at level 1 is intense.
Level like 15.